You think you're watching this video by choice. You think you decided to click, to listen, to learn. But what if I told you that decision wasn't entirely yours? What if I told you that right now, as you're sitting there, 7 ancient entities are quietly influencing every choice you make, every thought you think, every desire you feel? You've heard their names whispered in stories, seen them portrayed in movies as red-skinned monsters with horns and pitchforks. But that's exactly what they want you to believe, that they're fiction, that they're somewhere else, that they're not already here. The truth is far more terrifying and far more personal. These aren't creatures from another realm. They're patterns, frequencies, psychological architectures that have been weaving themselves through human consciousness for millennia. And you've been their perfect host, their willing participant, their unconscious servant. The 7 princes of hell don't rule from below, they rule from within. Before we dive deeper into this revelation, I need you to do something. If this resonates with you, if you feel that chill of recognition, hit that subscribe button. Because what I'm about to share will change how you see yourself forever. Let's go. Lucifer, the beautiful lie. Let's start with the one you think you know. Lucifer. But forget everything you've been told about him. He doesn't have horns, he doesn't carry a pitchfork, and he certainly doesn't live in some fiery underworld. He's beautiful, devastatingly, impossibly beautiful. He's the voice in your head that sounds like wisdom, like ambition, like your highest self calling you to greatness. You know that feeling when you look around and think, I could run this better? When you see florid leadership and whisper, I would never make those mistakes. When you scroll through social media and think, I deserve more recognition than them? That's not confidence speaking, that's Lucifer. He's the prince who doesn't tempt you with obvious evil. He tempts you with improvement, with evolution, with becoming the best version of yourself. But here's his beautiful lie. He convinces you that humility is weakness, that following others is beneath you, that you've outgrown the need for guidance. He doesn't want you to rebel against God, he wants you to believe you are God. In your relationships, your career, your spiritual journey, Lucifer whispers the same seductive truth. You know better. You deserve better. You are better. The most dangerous part. Sometimes he's right. Sometimes you do know better. And that's when he has you completely. Mammon, your digital master. While Lucifer seduces your spirit, Mammon owns your attention. You know him intimately, though you've never met him face to face. He's the algorithm that knows exactly what you want before you do. He's the cryptocurrency that promises financial freedom while enslaving your mind to market charts. He's the subscription service that somehow costs more than you planned but feels essential to your identity. Mammon doesn't just rule money, he rules the psychology of scarcity. He's the voice that says everyone else is getting rich except you. Everyone else has the secret. Everyone else is winning. He's transformed the entire digital landscape into his personal marketplace. And you're not the customer, you're the product being sold. Watch yourself for just one day. Notice how many times you check prices, compare what others have, feel that slight panic when someone mentions an investment opportunity you missed. That's Mammon's heartbeat, pumping through your nervous system. He's convinced you that your worth is measurable, that your security depends on accumulation, that happiness is always just one purchase away. The cruelest irony? The more you feed him, the hungrier he makes you feel. Asmodeus, beyond flesh. You think Asmodeus rules sensual desire, but that's thinking too small. He's the prince of all obsessive craving, the endless scroll through social media seeking validation, the compulsive checking of likes and comments, the desperate need to be seen, noticed, desired by people who don't even know your real name. Asmodeus has evolved. In ancient times, he corrupted through physical lust. Now he corrupts through digital lust, the lust for attention, for viral fame, for the perfect image. He's in your carefully curated Instagram posts, your dating app swipes, your need to document every moment instead of living it. He's turned your entire life into a performance, and you're both the actor and the audience. He whispers that you're not enough as you are, that you need to be more attractive, more successful, more interesting. He feeds on your comparisons, your insecurities, your desperate attempts to be worthy of love through external validation. Asmodeus doesn't want your body, he wants your authentic self, traded away piece by piece for the approval of strangers. Sathanas, the righteous monster. Here's where it gets truly terrifying. Sathanas doesn't make you evil, he makes you righteous. He's the prince who transforms your pain into purpose, your trauma into a weapon, your victimhood into a license for cruelty. He's the voice that says, you have every right to be angry. You have every right to punish them. You have every right to make them pay. Sathanas is the master of justified rage. He's in every comment section argument where you're educating someone. He's in every relationship where you punish your partner for the wrongs of your ex. He's in every moment you choose to destroy rather than heal, to blame rather than grow, to make others suffer because you've suffered. The most insidious part of his influence is how good it feels. Righteous anger is intoxicating. It gives you purpose, energy, a sense of moral superiority. Sathanas convinces you that your wrath is actually love, a love for justice, love for truth, love for the innocent. He turns you into a warrior for causes that somehow always require destroying people. He doesn't create monsters. He creates heroes who leave nothing but wreckage in their wake. Leviathan, the silent killer. If Sathanas is the fire that burns, Leviathan is the water that drowns slowly, silently, unnoticed until it's too late. He's the ancient sea serpent who has learned to swim in digital waters, feeding on every comparison you make, every success story that makes you feel smaller, every achievement that highlights your own perceived failures. Leviathan doesn't roar, he whispers, "Why them and not you? What do they have that you don't? How is that fair?" He's the sour taste in your mouth when a friend gets promoted. He's the hollow feeling when someone younger than you achieves what you've been working toward. He's the quiet resentment that grows every time someone else seems to have it easier. The genius of envy is its invisibility. You can hide it behind congratulations, behind "I'm so happy for you," behind the socially acceptable mask of support. But Leviathan sees through it all. He feeds on the poison you swallow, pretending it tastes sweet. He turns every blessing in your life into a reminder of what you're missing, every joy into a competition you're losing. In the age of social media, Leviathan has never been more powerful. Every scroll is a feeding session, every story a reminder of your inadequacy. The quiet destroyers, sloth and gluttony united. Belphegor and Beelzebub work as a team, and their partnership is flawless. One offers endless consumption, the other provides endless justification for inaction. Together, they've created the perfect prison, a comfortable cage of content consumption that feels like freedom but leads to spiritual paralysis. Beelzebub doesn't just rule over eating, he rules over consuming everything. Information, entertainment, stimulation, drama. He's the autoplay feature that keeps you watching until 3 a.m. He's the notification that interrupts your focus every few minutes. He's the endless buffet of content that promises satisfaction but delivers only spiritual malnutrition. Meanwhile, Belphegor whispers that you're too tired to create, too overwhelmed to act, too comfortable to change. Together, they create the modern addiction, consuming without creating, watching without doing, planning without implementing. They've turned distraction into an art form and procrastination into a lifestyle. The result? You're always busy but never productive, always entertained but never fulfilled, always consuming but never satisfied. The revelation: you are the battlefield. Here's the truth that will shatter everything you thought you knew. Hell isn't a place you go to after death. Hell is a state of consciousness you create while living. And the 7 princes? They're not external entities ruling from some underworld kingdom. They're psychological patterns, evolutionary programs, unconscious algorithms running in the background of your mind. You are not fighting demons. You are the demon. You are not being tempted by external forces. You are the temptation. The battlefield isn't somewhere else, sometime else. It's here, now, in the space between your thoughts and your choices. But here's the twist that changes everything. Recognizing them is the first step to freedom. Not fighting them, not denying them, not trying to destroy them, but seeing them clearly, understanding their function, and choosing consciously instead of reacting unconsciously. Most people, when they realize this truth, make a choice. They choose to stay asleep, to keep pretending they're victims of external circumstances, to keep believing that their patterns are just who they are. Because awakening requires something more terrifying than confronting demons. It requires taking responsibility for your own mind. The 7 princes aren't your enemies. They're your teachers, showing you exactly where your consciousness is still unconscious, where your freedom is still limited, where your power is still given away. The question isn't whether you'll encounter them, you already have. The question is, now that you know they're there, what will you choose to do?